Hey guys, Karnath here, and today I wanted to show you what I worked on just a little bit yesterday in Python, and it was a random skill tree generator. Now what I mean by that is it's just going to generate the skills I will use down here. Everything else is kind of up to me. But as you can see, from my first test with it, I ended up with an okay-ish build, but mostly cold damage, luckily, and it was a fun time, and I wanted to share with you guys. And before I get into it, if you do like this video, consider, hitting the like and subscribe. I got to do my obligatory YouTube thing. All right. And then we can get right into it. All right. So like I said, it's just built in Python. This is the random skill build thing, and it's in I guess you could say version 1.0, right? Because it works, but could easily be manipulated for a little bit more randomness experience. But all it does is, so if I go here and hit enter, it's gonna tell me to pick a class or random. So see, I entered sorcerer, and all it does is tell you, oh, here's your basic skill, spark. So a lightning basic skill, core skill, fireball. Okay, fireball. And then other skills and key passive, flame shield, got lucky with that one. Ice blades, and fireball, inferno, shadow. Well, everything's fire based. So see, this one's an actual interesting and good build. So we could try it again. We could do sorcerer again. And as you can see, let's see. Oh, it gave me firebolt. Oh, I have incinerate, and then lightning spear, ball lightning, unstable currents, Esu's ferocity, and teleport. So all right, that would be an interesting build, right? Because you have fire here, you have lightning for 4 of your skills down here, and then your passive is a fire passive. So that's all it does. It just does kind of that, and I found it quite fun to just run this random build, and that's kind of the whole point of it is just to see if you see anything that would work together that you wouldn't think of, and to just kind of give you an extra little spice in Diablo 4. So after seeing that, you may be wondering, okay, well, if it's very basic, are you sure you did it right? And what I wanted to kind of go over is how it works. I decided to say, well, obviously you have to have a basic skill. In order to progress in the skill tree, you have to have at least 2 points here, right? So you're going to have to invest into something. And after that, I mean, you could technically get passives here instead of a core skill, but I actually opted to say that it will always give you a core skill, so that way you at least have a basic and core skill to go with, and that gives you more than enough wiggle room to get the rest of the tree, right? As for the others, you may get the rest are defensive, or only one or none of defensive. You may get 1 or 3 of these ones. You may get 1 or 4 of these ones. As you can see in the build that I randomly generated last time, I got Blizzard and Meteor for my mastery tree, and I had no ultimates, and you can get an ultimate as well. And it will also know, if you already have an ultimate, it's not going to tell you to get 2 ultimates as well, because since you can only get 1 of those, and it guarantees you a key passive as well. I felt like this, obviously in any build you're going to pick one up, but with a random one, it could either, I got lucky with Shatter in this particular build, but imagine just getting Esu's ferocity where it's all fire based, and when you have all cold skills, I mean, it's going to be useless, but yeah, so that's kind of how it works. Getting into the rules of this thing. The rules that I put into place are pretty simple, but figured they would be worthwhile when trying to build something random. So the first rule is you get a basic, core, and key passive. That will always be in every one of these random builds. The reason for basic is obvious. You need to progress the tree. The core skill is kind of preference for me. I see most people are going to get a core skill anyway, and it also helps progress this tree easier without having to worry about getting weird passives and everything. But like And it gave you a fighting chance because a lot of the core skills you can work around and do some damage. This gets us to the rule number 2, which is all these other ones are you can get multiple or none of. So as you can see, I have 2 masteries right here. So you can get all the masteries you want in this randomized skill building. I could have gotten all 4. I got a conjuration skill, I got a defensive skill, but I didn't get an ultimate. So I could get an ultimate or not. I can get a mastery or not. So it kind of makes sure that you're going to have a diverse skill build. This is because we've seen a lot of the multiple defensive skills in Sorcerer, right? You can get the flame shield, you can get ice shield, and then you can get frost nova, and you can get flame shield, teleport, frost nova, and you would need those in order to do a really good build, right? And I thought that would be an interesting thing to put into here because you don't absolutely need to have one from each tree. And then the third rule it does is make sure you only get the ultimate once. So obviously you can only get one ultimate, and as you get one ultimate, you shouldn't see this happen again. And as long as if it rolls one ultimate, it's not going to roll you another one. So you don't have to worry about that happening there. So the other part of this tool is that when you run it, I've purposely put in you can enter a class or play random. Now, what this kind of opens up to is, let's say season 1 is coming and you really want to give yourself a challenge or give yourself something weird to work towards, or you want to build a hardcore character and you want to just make it super random. So you can put random in here and it's going to tell you, okay, you've gotten a druid and you can maul, landslide, and here's all the other ones, right? And so you don't have to put in any class. You can put in random, and there you go. It gave me druid again. And let's see for there you go. So see, it pulled up rogue this time. So with all those, it gives you kind of an option to just say, hey, I'm going to do a season and I'm going to do a random one, and I truly want random. So there you go. And that's kind of how that works. So either enter the class you want or enter random. So once you run this function here, that's all you got to do it, and it'll tell you. So, and you can you can do it uppercase, lowercase, however you want. So it forces it to look at it like that, like just as long as you type in the right class or random. So what we're going to do here is we're going to refund all our skills. Ouch, takes 736,000, and which is unfortunate. I hope they fix this later so you can have more fun with this at higher levels. But we're going to refund them all and do a random build. Okay, I have refunded all my points, and so as you can see here, refunded. And what we're going to do is we're going to hop back over to this guy right here. And we're going to try out a skill build and see how it goes. And, we'll run a dungeon and maybe we'll have fun. Maybe we won't. Maybe we'll struggle. Who knows? But one caveat here is that I want to avoid using a lot of lightning stuff because all my current build is usually lightning focused. So we're going to go for something other than that. I mean, spark, charge bolts. Okay. And let's go ahead and let's leave it as is. So yeah, it kind of goes into the next line. Sorry about that. Ice blades, ball lightning. I already got spark, charge bolts, ball lightning, and unstable currents, and lightning spear. No, this would be too much because I could easily just unstable currents, spark, and charge bolts is another one. So we're gonna try it again and see what it gives us this time. Okay, firebolt, frozen orb, already crazy off the bat. And teleport, okay. Ice blades, okay, so we're all over the place, it feels like. Ball lightning. Okay. Esu's ferocity, and what? We only have one fire thing. And blizzard. Okay, so frozen orb and blizzard go together, I guess. So we could focus mostly on cold because we have ice blades. Ball lightning's just there hanging out. Teleports are defensive. And then there's firebolt. All right, so let's go ahead and put all this together. So let's pop this away for now and go back to Diablo. All right, so we got firebolt and frozen orb. And let's see. Do we want restore mana or vulnerability? So we did get, what did we get? We got Esu's ferocity for our key passive. Oh man, this is tough. 25% chance to make all enemies hit vulnerable for 2 seconds. Or we're gonna try this, just restores mana, because I feel like we're gonna pump this up to max just because it's our core skill. And with this, oh man. Yeah, we're just gonna do restore mana as well on that, because otherwise I don't know what else we're gonna do with it. And then teleport. Yeah, what we're gonna do is just get these nodes for it, and we'll leave it as is. So we'll go here. We got Ice Blade, and yeah, let's see what. And then Enhanced Ice Blade, it only works with vulnerable, so we're just gonna do that. And then we got Blizzard. And we'll do that, I suppose, so that we can do more core skills. So, teleport, ice blades. Oh no, we didn't. Oh yeah, we got ball lightning as well. We have no ultimate. And let's just put something into ball lightning. Okay. So, the only other thing we need to get is Esu's ferocity, and that will only work with fire. But I do know we're going to focus a little bit more on frost. We have no barriers. We're going to do more damage to elites, and let's get Esu's ferocity. Okay. Extra damage there. And let's do lucky hit. Still have 18 points. Now, I already have 3 in glass cannon. I like living dangerously. I'm going to put up this crit thing so we can get our defensive cooldown faster. Now, do we want maximum mana? No. No. What we will take is at least one of that. I always get one of that. And oof, this is kind of crazy. Okay. Well, I mean, we have ball lightning, which does nothing. I mean, we could try this if enemies are burning. And then take Conjuration Mastery here. And then for cooldowns, all we have is 1, 2. We only have 2 cooldowns. I could put 1 point in the barrier thing. I don't think it's going to do us any good. But we will see. I don't think we're going to put that in there. I think that's all I kind of want. And we're just going to dump them somewhere else. Like, well, we have 3 points available. We could always just say, yeah, let's get the cooldown lower and teleport. Okay. So this is our current build. And then what we're going to do is do some enhancements. I think I'm going to try this. So this one does, so when you do direct damage, things burn, so we have more chance of burning. And for every 40 seconds, and critical strikes. Now I can do teleport or this one. I almost want to try out this. How evade is, because I have a thing. I have the boots that attacks reduce evade cooldown by 1.2 seconds. All right. So there you go. So this is the build we're going with, and we'll see how it goes. So hopefully this shows up as a fun thing, right? Like a fun experiment to deal with a random build, and how are you gonna make it work for what you have now? As you notice, I'm not changing my equipment. I'm not doing it. I'm just running with it. So I think that's what makes it a little bit more exciting, because my equipment is not made for this build at all. So we'll see how effective it is just by kind of like the merits of the skill themselves, because I don't really have anything else going for these except some extra damage. And a Paragon board I'm leaving as is. There could be, in future, if this becomes more fun for me and I start getting, oh, well, I'm kind of used to this random skill thing, we can do random Paragon board, and that would be a little bit more, that'd be interesting and complicated, but we'll see. Anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to a dungeon, and we're going to go ahead and fight there and see how this goes. Okay, guys, we're here in the Iron Hold, and I actually haven't done this one, and I believe this is one of the ones that was up there to do better experience with, but we're gonna go ahead and run this. Now, it's just a regular dungeon, not a nightmare, because I really don't know how this is gonna go. So, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and play this one with this random build and see how it goes and see how this works out for us. Is it more fun? Did we find something quirky that kind of synergizes? That sort of thing? Who knows? So see, this is why I didn't change my equipment, because I do enough damage to actually just basically. All right, so interesting for sure. We have random. There's that short range teleport. Let's see how fast I get back. Oh, I get it back pretty fast. See? And there it is again. Oh, and it gives me like the other. Okay. Actually, like that short range teleport gives us more options. Alright, so we did find our first elite pack. Oh, with a lot of things going on. Okay. That's just a greed shrine. Okay. We need to. This is a mess. Wow. Yeah, I don't know what is going on here, but I'm trying. This guy keeps teleporting. Alright, our first elite pack took way longer, obviously, than what you would think it would. And got a greed shrine in the middle of it. And, a couple of things I noticed. The teleport with the, this quick teleport is actually a lot of fun. And because you have these boots that attack reduce evades cooldown, if you get these boots like this, I think this is a really good. And see, when I do it, it actually triggers my passive, and it triggers a cooldown for the barrier from that passive. So, see, these are things I wouldn't have known had I not done this random build. So this is kind of cool. And I see, so after close enemies 50 times. Yeah, so ball lightning. I was wondering why I was counting up, and I had forgotten that once it's 50 times, it stuns. And yeah, and what I do like is the synergy between Blizzard and Frozen Orb. since they're both ice skills, they seem to do a lot of chill, and it makes it easier for things to be frozen. And I do like that synergy. So doing a frozen orb build with Blizzard seems kind of fun, you know? Especially if I cast a Blizzard first and then do that. It makes that the orb cost less. Now Firebolt is just, it feels very out of place, and same with these ice blades. I don't see the ice blades. The ice blades don't seem to function very well as far as, you know, when I'm using them. We're going to keep trying though. We're going to keep going with this dungeon and see how it goes. Okay, so we're in the second part of this dungeon, and so far not too bad. I think I got lucky with having Blizzard and Frozen Orb here in this build for the extra damage. Having a defensive cooldown is helping a lot. And even though it's this Firebolt, it's just kind of there. But I've barely used Ball Lightning, and I kind of just throw Ice Blades in there every so often. So as we're getting through this, I'm enjoying it. So as I'm going through this, Frozen Orb I'd like, but I haven't used it a lot. But I'm noticing this is something that, you know, you want the explosion to hit things, and if something's close, it only goes through it a little bit and barely does anything. So see, that explosion definitely does really well. So that's something that I have been noticing with Frozen Orb as I've been going through this dungeon. And here we have, oh wow, we have a pretty hefty elite pack here, and we're probably gonna die unless we're really lucky, I guess. But let's see how this does. So, you know, I'm trying to keep Blizzard up as much as possible because that seems to do a lot of chill damage and gets him frozen a lot quicker. Throwing out my frozen orbs. Ball Lightning I'll throw out every so often, I guess, but I have no idea how that would be useful in a build like this. There, see, I threw Ball Lightning out there. See, it's at 41 stacks. Maybe I'll get enough to get a stun out or something. So, because I'm not optimized for damage, you can see how long it's taking. So that's kind of the one thing with these random builds, that you're going to be sitting here fighting a long time. But I don't think it's something to, if you're just doing this at a higher level like I am, I wouldn't worry about too much, right? Because you probably just want to mess around a bit. So you get to experience something new. Ooh, see, but look at that. That took a while. Obviously, a pack like that would have been a lot quicker on most other builds. And this build, because it doesn't synergize, because it doesn't, well, these two synergize really well. It's very, and my equipment does not synergize. That's the huge difference that we're seeing in damage and every other effectiveness that you can get. Paragon board isn't synchronized with this damage, so we're all out of whack, you could say, and that's where this extra time is coming from. So we'll continue to do this dungeon, and I can't remember if this one has a boss or not. Actually, I don't know, because I've never played this one. I haven't really researched it. So we'll see. And we'll get towards the end and kind of do the boss, and we'll see how long that takes us. Okay, so we're getting to the boss. Yeah, just to defeat the Scourge of the Land. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to go through the boss fight and see. Let's see how long it takes us, because, yeah, it's going to take us a while, I think. I mean, it's not too bad, as you can see. Another thing I've noticed that's kind of nice in this build is the mini, like the teleport into a frozen orb. you can do like a mini teleport into Frozen Orb, and that gives us enough range to kind of get to that explosion that we need to for that. So teleport that. See, and he's in range of that burst. And yeah, so teleport, Frozen Orb. Okay. Those ice blades just sit there and attack. They just do their thing. Oh, we got him staggered. So at least we were able to stagger because of the amount of frozen damage and chill and everything else going on. So there we go. So that was this random build. So there are things that I've learned from this that I probably wouldn't have in if I had just been playing normal. So one, this short range evade is nice with these types of boots that have attack reduces evade's cooldown. So I can just do that, do my attacks, see how it's already reducing it, even though it's not hitting anything. And I can do it again. So I like that. That's an option. While it does take up another enhancement slot, it might be an interesting thing to look into for if you really want high mobility. And one thing that it does is it does kick in that 30% damage reduction, triggers the barrier as though that were triggering a cooldown. So if I trigger this cooldown, see, it gives me the barrier. But the only thing I've noticed it doesn't do is does not give me unstoppable like teleport does. So just be aware of that. Another thing I had noticed is obviously, Blizzard and Frozen Orb have a great synergy together. Blizzard doing this damage here and then Frozen Orb adding to that chill effect. And I would assume Ice Shard has that as well. The only problem is how much resources that these end up taking. I mean, yes, this goes down to 34. Saves me 4 mana to cast when Blizzard is out. But I think the other modifier would have been better for if Blizzard stays around longer. So if I had done this instead, I think that would have been better. This sticks around longer so I can get more cast. And we could see, it's sticking around longer. So we're not wasting as much mana. And we want to make sure we cast at a higher mana, so it sticks around longer. And the other thing I noticed was how nice it was to have this short teleport plus Frozen Orb. So it gives us just enough distance to get away from a target. So when we're going and we teleport back and shoot back, they're just in range for that explosion. So that is a great synergy too. All lightning, it didn't do anything for us. So yeah, so hopefully you guys enjoyed this, and I will be doing a bit more of this because this is kind of fun to figure out what random skills work and how it works within these builds. So yeah, hopefully this keeps going, and maybe I'll make this even more crazy and distribute the skill points, put them into passives or something like that. And like I said, random Paragon board. But right now, just a version 1, and we'll see how it goes. All right. Until next time.